Let's talk about being on mic. Let's talk about tips and tricks. Let's talk about getting more comfortable, becoming a better communicator. But first, when is the last time you smelled your microphone? I do a lot of traveling and speaking in churches, and some of your mics stink. Just like this has been collecting dead skin and sweat and spit for years and years and sometimes decades. Clean your mics off. That's not even a joke. That's a good tip. Because really, all that matters is getting rid of as many distractions as possible for you on stage and for the people listening to you. The less you're distracted, the less they're distracted, the easier it's going to be to get your point across. Everything, even down to like how you hold a microphone, is important. Where do you hold it from? You're gonna be like Dane Cook and just be like this guy and everyone can understand you so clearly right now, right? Don't be Judah Smith either and just hold it at your belly button and never raise it above your hello. You don't want to do that because you don't want to anger the people in the sound booth. You want to be on a team, a partnership, a bond. You have their back. They have your back. Some of you have wireless microphones and there's the antenna at the bottom and you keep grabbing it by the antenna and it keeps cutting out. And it keeps making people think that like, oh, there must be something wrong with the sound system. Oh, there must be something. And they keep looking back at the sound booth, but really it's your fault. It's all on you. Some of you want to wear a headset mic, and I understand. You want to be able to use your hands, but also what are you going to do with your hands? Do you have any plan? It's nice to hold a microphone because then you only have one hand to worry about. And also, if you're going to use a headset mic, let me ask you this. How big is your pastor's head physically? Like how big is their noggin? Because if you're borrowing their microphone, there's a good chance it won't fit. And no matter how much you try to finagle it and get it, it's not going to fit comfortably. And you're just going to keep messing with it every 5 seconds. And if that's the case, it's not worth it. It's a distraction to you and to your audience. Take it from me. Somebody in my 20s, I did not know how to get a haircut or do my hair. And I also didn't like the feeling of hair on my forehead. So literally every 5 seconds was just me going, gah, gah, gah. That's not good. It's not good for you. It's not good for the people listening to you. You want to hold the mic in the middle. You want to hold it close, but not too close. You can move it away if you're going to get loud. And you can bring it really close if you're going to get quiet. You can be dynamic with it. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you're going to get. And another thing that's going to help you get more comfortable is practicing and preparing. If you're going to have the mic for anything, have some idea of what you're going to say. You're just doing an announcement. It doesn't matter. Don't wing it. Don't wing it. Don't wing it. Often when we wing it, that's when we end up saying the things that we regret the most. Or at least I know for me, my worst sermons are the longest sermons. And the longest sermons are the ones I prepared for the least. Because then I'm rambling, I'm going off on tangents, I'm second guessing if I've actually gotten my point across, so I keep repeating things over and over again. But when I've planned and prepared what I'm going to say ahead of time, I am much more confident. I am able to say it clearly and quickly. I am able to just get straight to the point because my brain isn't like second guessing and wondering the whole time, did I say it right? What do I have to say next? What do I say next? What do I say next? If I'm not worrying about that, I'm able to be present and in the moment and be myself. And this is with anything that you're doing on stage. If you're doing announcements, if you're doing transitions are so important. You gotta help people know what the expectations are for the next part of service. We're going from a game to worship, worship to sermon. You're going from loud, silly fun to quiet and listening. And you need to prepare them for how that is going to go. And everything that you do on stage can help communicate that. You don't have to just go up there and be like, all right, we're transitioning now. It's not just the words that you're saying, it's how you're saying it. What's your tone? How fast are you speaking? How loud are you speaking? What's your body language look like? Where are you standing on stage? What music is playing? What are the lights like? All of this can help us transition. But here's the most important thing that I want to say, especially for being on mic in front of students. Don't get caught trying. That's the worst thing. The worst thing that you could do, because these kids can tell when we are being inauthentic. So don't try to be relevant or try to be cool or try to be funny or try to sound smart. Be yourself. And the more reps you get, the more time you get up on stage, the easier it's going to be for you to figure out how to be the same person you are off stage, the same person you are in conversation, being that person on stage too. The more you do it, the more comfortable you'll be. And if you really want to get better, it's going to be uncomfortable and you're not going to like it at first. Watch yourself. Watch footage of yourself on stage and take note of what you're doing, how you're doing it, and how it's coming across. Because you can think everything is going a certain way when you're in the moment doing it, but when you watch it back later, it can give you a very different idea. It's worth doing it. It's going to feel so gross at first and you're going to hate it, and that's okay. It's worth getting over that. Give it a try. Don't try.